All right, this week on Camera Talk, we're going to my home and native land.
Good day. How's it going? Okay. Boy.
Canada. But this lens is not called Canada, obviously. It's a Leica. And back in the day, in the mid-70s, these were produced in Midland, Ontario, Canada. And this little gem in my hand here is the Summicron-R 90mm f2. f2, baby. It's, again, back to one of the legendary lenses.
You're a legend in your own mind.
This sucker is super for portraits. You know, Daddy likes to do portraits of you-know-who. So, why don't you and I get together with the good people out in our audience and take a little look at this thing in closer detail. So, grab yourself something to drink or eat or whatever entertains you. Get comfortable and let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right, here we are back at another week. Camera Talk, another lens. As the intro said here, yeah, hold on, let Daddy do the talking. This is a Leica Summicron-R 90mm f2, and it was produced in 1976 according to the serial number. It's actually got a kind of cool serial number, 277107. Bond. James Bond.
James Bond.
Now, what is this lens legendary for? It is a great portrait lens. But it's more than that. I mean, when you know, as like most portrait lenses, you know, wide open, they're a little soft. They're sharp enough to get some detail, but soft enough to not see every single little nook and cranny of the face, which may embarrass some people. So, but if you want sharpness, this thing has plenty of it. Just stop down a little bit, 2.8, 4, f5.6, f8, you name it. This thing is sharp. And because it's a Summicron-R, from the R line of lenses that went along with the Leica Flex, you know, SLR lineup, they are not as sought after as the M lenses, like my 35 FLE here. So this is a lot bigger, it's a lot heavier, but it's a lot cheaper. And of course, nothing in Leica land, which is a province of Cameraland,
the wonderful world of Cameraland,
is that cheap. I mean, it's still, you know, 600 bucks or so. But the M lens is 6,000 bucks. Big difference in that regard. So, anyway, just to give you a you know, the old rundown on that. You know, as I said in the intro too, you know, this excuse me, this lens was designed by Dr. Walter Mandler, who you know, ran you know, the R&D and optics end of things, you know, from the late 60s all the way through to the mid 80s or so, in a little town that I've been to, by the way, called Midland, Ontario, Canada. Oh, Canada. Now, why did they pick Midland, Ontario? You know, why not continue building things in Germany? Well, you know, due to the you know, politics and the things going on in Europe at the time, they just felt that it was probably safe or safer to have things done offshore. And I know a lot of people talk about outsourcing, like, oh, hey, outsourcing's been around for a long time. And so Dr. Mandler, anyway, designed this lens along with a lot of other really cool lenses like the Noctiluxes and whatnot. the Noctilux F1. It's you know, he had quite a reputation for designing some great glass, and I said this particular one was produced in 1976. The you know, the lens itself was designed or run basically from 1970 all the way through what 1980 something. I forget the exact year, but anyway, it had a long run. And the specs on this thing, you know, it's fairly simple. It's 5 elements in 4 groups. It's close focus distance, which was an improvement over its predecessor. You know, a lot of the longer lenses or longer focal lengths were a meter or more. You know, this one came down to 70 centimeters, which is the same as this one, which is a modern lens. So, you know, again, it was something that was welcomed in the world of Leica. Aperture blades, we have 8. You know, it's not the 10 or 12 or 15 that I know a lot of Bocalicious lovers out there want to see, but they're 8 rounded blades, so it does have, you know, rounded bokeh balls. And its weight, it's definitely not light. I mean, this sucker's 560 grams. 560. It's like the weight of a Noctilux. You know, it's got some heft to it. You know, it's like a brick. Right? They say built like a tank. So anyway, it you know, being built in 1976, you know, this was during also Leica's kind of shady time when they were worried about going out of business because the Japanese manufacturers were kind of running all over them. Nikon was beating them up from all sides, and Canon, of course, was not far behind in that regards. So some of the other little aspects of this too. This was actually this year and the one before the first time that it went from a filter size of V2 or 7. I don't know if it's a Roman numeral or not, which is a 48 millimeter filter size, to what this one is at E55, and in Leica terms, that's just 55 millimeters. And one of the other things, they went from it has its own built-in hood shade, and you know, it had a single piece shade prior to this one, prior to 1975, 1976. This one has dual, so it comes up in sections, and voila! See, it looks like one of those portable drinking cups. You know, the way it extends like this, telescoping lens hood, and so that's a nice touch in this type of thing. So that was again another you know, kind of breakthrough for the lens. So it went from a 48 millimeter to a 55 millimeter. Went from a single piece hood to telescoping multi piece hood. If you'll notice, Mr. Dillon's a little quiet today, and he's breathing through his mouth because he's just getting over a cold. Poor little guy. Did you give that to Daddy? Mommy's got his cold already. But anyway, he's been coughing and hacking a lot lately. Anyway, so he should be back together by next week's video anyhow. You know, what else can I say? Oh, it's a true tele. You know, they say telephoto. Well, it's a tele lens, a tele Summicron, I guess you would say. And the way that works is if the size or the length of the barrel is shorter than its focal length, then it's called a tele. You'll see in Leica terms, tele Elmert, for example. And this is another true tele because from bottom to top, it's only 6 62.5. 62.5 millimeters. And actually the width of it is even bigger than the length. It's 70 millimeters across. So it's a 90 millimeter focal length. So you'll see most of the telephoto lenses that are out there that are 90 or 135 or 200 or whatever are bigger lenses. But Leica's got a way of producing something short and sweet.
So many different sizes.
Just how they like it. So anyway, it's a great little bang for the buck, so to speak. So whatever its characteristics, it's soft, dreamy, contrasty, which is a typical Mandler design, but that's wide open at f2. There's that cough I was just talking about. Sounds pretty raspy. So anyway, yeah, cough that up, mister. So f.2, f2.8, you know, it does get sharper and gets more contrasty. It has some issues with color fringing aberrations, you know, wide open. But again, those kind of go away at 2.8. So it's only, you know, again, from f2 to 2.8. And it clears up pretty good. So nothing really to complain about. And with today's photo editing software, you know, whether you're using, you know, Lightroom or Luminar like I use, or Capture One or any of the other ones out there, they all have ways of correcting chromatic aberrations anyway.
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
So the other beauty of this thing that again, Leica lovers, Leica users love, could also be a Leica lover, is the bokeh. Bokeh, baby. Yeah, this thing's got bokeh out the yin yang. So the focal, and you know, another thing too, it's another Mandler design, is the actual focal plane itself has this, the Leica glow, as they call it.
Do not go into the light.
Obviously not in all photos, but when you see it, it's there, and it's kind of obvious. Flare or non-flare, it again depends. Some people say, oh, it flares like crazy. Other people says, oh, I can't get it to flare. You know, every to each their own, so to speak. But any of that stuff I don't really care about personally, because what do I mostly shoot pictures of, at least lately? This dude over here, that's right, portraits. And so for, you know, portraiture, sure, if you're doing outdoor portraiture, you know, if you're shooting into the sun, you may get some flares or whatnot, but I rarely do that. So, you know, I don't see myself having any issues with it at all. So with that said, then let's take a photo. Now I'm using my Sony A7R II to show off its capabilities here, and because my M10 is off at the doctor's because it's got a sensor that went boo-boo. Bummer, huh? I know, don't look so sad. We'll get our camera back. You know, my M9 using this with adapters is going to be a big challenge. So not is basically the answer to that. So I'm using my Sony A7R II with 2 adapters on it because I don't have an LR, which is like an R mount adapter to NEX. So I have like an R mount to EOS, which is Canon, you know that, right? And then an EOS to NEX adapter. So I got 2 adapters on here, which may make it seem like it's a little longer than it still needs to be. And even, you know, again, compared to other 90 millimeter or 100 millimeters, I've got some up there, it's very comparable to this size anyway. So anyway, Long story short, let me do my usual, take a shot of the nameplate on the end of my lens. I'm shooting this video, which I shoot most of my videos with, which is a Canon M50. And the kit lens on it is a 15 to 45 millimeter. So I try to focus in on the lettering on the end of the nameplate as clear as possible to give you an idea of what that looks like from here. I'm 1.75, maybe almost 2 meters away. So let's do that and get that out of the way. So what am I at here? I'm gonna make sure I'm wide open because we always do everything wide open to start with anyway. Wham, nice focus there. Oh, but it is a Leica, so. All right, ready, buddy? 1, 2, 3. You hear that? 1, 2, 3. He's like, I'm not playing along, Daddy. I don't care.
Don't care.
All right, let's do 5.6. Just because I want to. All right, so same thing. Let me take a sharper look at that, and only a slight adjustment, so it's obviously got some focus shift going on. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, and that is the fact, Jack.
That's the fact, Jack! That's the fact, Jack!
So, that, again, just to show you what that looks like shooting at this distance. Again, it's got a close focus of 70 centimeters anyway, so I'm well within that range. And but you can check out the background, out of focus background on that, and the quality. Ooh, fruit fly, and the quality of that out of focus background, which is otherwise known as bokeh, baby.
With rich, smooth, buttery bokeh.
So let's look at some pictures of this guy that I took at f2. Are you ready? Here's Dylan at f2. What? Get your hand out there. F2. Yeah. And here's Dylan at I forgot what other focal length, or what other aperture stop I took pictures of you with. So let's look at those here, and I'll leave something up top as to what that is. Are you ready? Here's Dylan here. And how about some random stuff? You want some random stuff? Other people's, you know, photos of using this lens in other conditions, other than taking pictures of you all the time. Yeah. So let's take a look at those here. All right, so that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about with the Leica Summicron-R 90mm f2 from 1976. And what else? Want to do our little plug for Luminar? Luminar AI and Luminar Neo. It's the photo editing software that I use when editing my photos. It's a one-stop shop. It's an add-in or an add-on to Lightroom and things like that, or standalone as I use it. It's a mix of AI and Luminar 4, so they've created this new Luminar Neo, and it's got a lot of AI involved. You know, AI stands for Artificial Intelligence, mister. That's right. So, you know, it's got power line removal, spot dust removal, scenery lighting, layer masking, AI. You know, remove backgrounds. The new one just came out just last week. It can remove the backgrounds on a portrait. So if we don't like the background here, I can remove it and replace something else with it. It's kind of cool, funky, but it's all one click. Every one of those features, click, 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 you're done. You know, you don't have to highlight things and then brush them out and, you know, end up spending half an hour on something to create a photoshopped result. So anyway, that's pretty cool. And what's the best part of it? It's only like $79. $79, and it's yours for life, right? So you pay for it one time, boom, it's yours. All the upgrades, like mine, you know, again, I got the early bird special because I bought it before it was actually released. But so I think I got mine at like 40 bucks or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, it's had like 10 updates since then, and you don't pay for them. You just reload your software, and away you go. So it's pretty cool. Not everybody loves it, of course, but hey, to each their own. To me, it's economical, and it saves me a lot of time, and that's important to me because I'm a busy guy, you know. So anyway, that's Luminar, and what's in it for us? If you buy a copy, if you click below, right? Click below. And use that link to buy your copy, then we get a little kickback from that too, right? And we like kickbacks, right? Yeah, kickbacks. Oh, he's not in the mood for kickbacks today. I told you he's not feeling well, so that's okay. We forgive you, mister. You've lost your sense of fun for today.
No shit, Sherlock.
But, so what else can we do? I think that was it. That was pretty much it. Give you the endorsement of Luminar. Well, how about you support our channel and subscribe? That's right. Because, you know, without subscribers, Luminar, YouTube doesn't kick us around out there and show us off to the world. So subscribe. That's right. And the double of, well, my English has gone right out the window today.
You suck.
The power of double subscribers is all that powerful. Subscribe! That's right. Normally he'd be pointing too, but you know, he's not our same old Dylan that we all know and love today, so oh well. Poor you. And what else does YouTube love besides subscribers? They love the thumbs up. So if you can give us a thumbs up, that would be great, because everybody needs a little thumbs up. So how about we show the thumbs up girls? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Oh, we got a smile at him there. See, he likes the blonde in the front, so he likes the thumbs up girls. So I think that was it. So, you know, who are we? We are Modesty Photography. That's right, we're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, introducing you to vintage lenses, cameras, different systems, different things about photography. Maybe it's using natural light, as our last video talked about, or composition, or the exposure triangle. There's all kinds of little things that we also talk about here and there, or opinions, like we talked about the Leica M11, you know, whether it's worth it or not. So anyway, so yeah, what was the name of our show? This was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. So come on back next week. We're going to do it all again. Different topic, different subject, maybe a lens, maybe a camera, maybe just something photographic. All right, so you have yourself a great week, a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. And you say goodbye-bye? All right, bye-bye.
Here I am, Vietnam.